It's an interesting concept, and the idea that comes to mind is that sort of utopia where we're all living together, we're all helping each other out,
Mhm.
we're trading, we're doing work that needs to be done at a community level. But are there any realistic world examples of that that currently
Yes.
exist? Really?
Yes. Alright, first of all, well, you just said that currently exists. So let me I'm gonna answer the question by saying we know that Homo sapiens sapiens have been around like that you take a Homo sapiens sapien from about 150,000 years ago, and if we, dress them up and bathe them and put some clothes on them and put them in that chair, you or I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right? Us. I'm going to assume that you agree with evolution. So, okay. Phew.
This would be a very different conversation if I didn't, right?
Right? It would, but I don't think because I've watched some of your programs, I wouldn't have reached out to you if I thought that that's the direction this conversation would have gone. But Nick, Homo sapiens have been around for about 150,000 years, like that, right? You realize that for over 90% of the time that human beings Homo sapiens have been here, not humans, not hominids, Homo sapiens sapiens, we lived the way I just described. That's our birthright. Now, so that's number one. Number two, I can point to you examples, the Basque region of Spain of the 1930s. Remember, the one time that the totalitarian left of the Soviet Union and the totalitarian right agreed on anything at all was okay, we're going to go to a world war over which worldview is going to exist, except for one thing we both agree whatever that experiment is happening in the Basque region of Spain, like we got to destroy that. Why? Because this was a truly bottom up, freedom based, individual choice driven process that was anti capitalist. An amazing experiment that almost nobody has heard of.
I have not heard of it.
The anarcho communists of Spain. It's actually described in "For Whom the Bell Tolls" by Ernest Hemingway. That was the Spanish Civil War, the 1930s. There's a reason that somebody as clearly well-read and erudite as yourself doesn't know that example. I'll give you another example: the Paris Commune. Not trying to be a prick here, but have you
No, I haven't heard of that either.
all right, well, check it out. It was a time where people like myself basically took over the entire city of Paris and began to function as a autonomous, self-governing people. And the French ruling class slaughtered them. 1649, the Diggers movement of England. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-mm.
And again, this is not me trying to be a jerk. This is
No, no,
saying,
I'm not taking that at
okay,
all. These
good,
are
good.
things I'm gonna look into afterwards.
Yeah. So, what I'm getting at, Nick, is like I could keep going. Like there are lots of examples where these experiments began and they get crushed by the ruling elite because they realize how dangerous that is.
Yeah, but couldn't you counter that with there are also examples of the extreme of where this goes, where hundreds of millions of people die through communism and
Dude,
starving and
remember, I'm an anti-authoritarian leftist. If we want to talk about how horrific it is in North Korea, jump on board with that. Like, I'm absolutely not advocating for that, like in no way, shape, or form. And I think it's interesting that you are clearly having a principled discourse with me, right? You're not trying to get me.
No, I'm trying to understand.
Exactly. And like that, I'm super excited that you are. And what I'm trying to point out is that I'm experiencing, oh, you've got some assumptions that I don't think I agree with. So that's what I'm trying to back up a moment and saying, oh no, I'm not for the the version of socialism that would mean like coming in and destroying individual liberty or forcing and mandating. Like that's not what I'm about.
You're trying to create a separation between your version of it and the version that is always touted, right? That kills a lot of people.
I'm trying, yes, and I'm saying that there are lots of examples that don't do that, that nobody knows about because our education system is, as Lauren Hill so accurately observed a miseducation system.